Thank you very much for that introduction. That was fantastic. My mum would be really proud, actually, if she heard that. But hello, world, and good morning, everyone. It's really exciting because I am actually from Fintech community, so it's really exciting to be here. And only 2 weeks in the job, but it's really great to be invited here. And it's absolute pleasure to open London Fintech Week 2016. In a time of such uncertainty, seeing how this event has grown in just last 2 years, and this is its third year now, to a big event, it's a global gathering of fintech leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators, demonstrate just how much reason we've got to be optimistic about London's future. London has a thriving, vital fintech sector. In my view, one of the most exciting business sectors. But then I would say that, I was just until 2 weeks ago, I was running my own fintech business, which I started in 2005, and ran it for 11 years. And just until sort of 2 weeks ago, I was running it. So I understand the problems and the challenges faced by the fintech community here in London. And this event is also a great way for people from across the industry to meet. And I see a lot of people networking outside. Hopefully some deals are being done there. And have dialogue. But above all, it's just a celebration for innovation. Because what a startup community would be without the disruptors and the innovators. So ultimately, we have to innovate. And this is a great celebration for innovation. But let's not have any elephants in the room, or Pokemon for that matter. The outcome of the EU referendum was a bad news for London. And for fintech, it wasn't the result what we wanted. I never voted for it. I don't think many people in the room did. But here we are. This is the situation that we are in. And we got to get the best deal for London and make it work. The Mayor Sadiq Khan is already in touch with ministers in the new government. And we are very clear about what we need. We need access to the single market, and we need protection of our passporting rights. As a fintech entrepreneur, I know how important it is to the sector and to the city. And alongside Sadiq and all of you, I'll be fighting tooth and nail to make sure that it's on top of government's agenda. It is essential that London does not just have a strong voice, but actually have a seat on the table whenever we start renegotiating with Europe. It is essential that all of us are out there making the case. Make sure that the government knows what is at stake. A lot of fintech firms from London are actually doing business across Europe because of the passporting rights. So it's absolutely important that we protect those rights in order to protect the fintech industry in London. When I came to this city from India, it was because I knew that London was the best place to do business, and it was the greatest city in the world to live in. And that is true today, and it will stay true. We are a city that we've always faced challenges and overcome them. We got through the Great Fire of London, we got through the plague, we got through the Blitz, we got through the Lehman Brothers, and I'm sure we can get through Brexit as well. And that is the message I've been taking out to the industry leaders, and that is the feedback that I've been getting from the investors as well, and entrepreneurs, that they believe in the spirit of London. People are putting their faith in London, and many of them in fintech. People like Moneybox, who last week announced that they have secured further funding of $1.75 million, taking the total pre-launch funding to $4.75 million. Like Stripe, who just opened their new flagship office at Silicon Roundabout. Like Revolut, who've just raised another £6.75 million from Ribbit Capital, and now embarking on a crowdfunding campaign to secure a further £1 million from the public. These are just 3 examples. This morning, we must have all read about Arm Holding, which is just outside London in Cambridge. A firm that started so small, became so successful. SoftBank is acquiring it for $32 billion. Just this morning, it was announced. So even in the face of unprecedented set of challenges, this is a promising time for fintech. In 2015, UK fintech attracted well over £500 million in venture capital. We now have a sector worth about £20 billion in revenue. but we are still well behind California and New York. California raised 7 times as much. New York raised 3 times as much. So whilst here we are proudly calling London the fintech capital of the world, there's a lot more to be done. And in last 12 months, we have had reports that China has seen unprecedented growth, combined with, there's a big surge also in Australia and New Zealand. So those of us in government at national and regional level, we need to do more to support this industry. For example, in extending fintech bridges to open up new markets to our own startups while encouraging foreign investments here. We are home to 61,000 fintech jobs, more than New York or London, more than New York or Singapore or Singapore and Hong Kong combined. Investors and entrepreneurs recognize the unrivaled pool of talent that exists here, unparalleled in financial services. My background is foreign exchange. Just to give you an idea, in the FX world, about $3 trillion are traded every day. More than 50% of that is traded just from London. London is the world's financial capital. So obviously with fintech, it makes a huge, huge difference, and it should be the world leader. And but still, often quite a lot, companies struggle to find good enough people for the technical expertise that they need. Coders, developer, engineers. So in London, the mayor, Sadiq Khan, has pledged to create a tech talent pipeline, just like one in New York, but only better. And we'll be working across businesses, education, schools, further education, higher education, to ensure that no opportunity to train more Londoners in core STEM areas is missed, and to make sure that no Londoner, regardless of their gender and background, has any reason to feel that a career in tech isn't one for them. So we are here. So while we are on the subject of talent, I want to say a few things about international talent too. London has been so successful because we've been able to attract the best and the brightest from around the world, me included. To get world-class industries, you need to be able to attract world-class talent. I think it was William Shakespeare who said that what is a city if not its people? And London is the greatest city on earth, and it is greatest city because it's able to attract the talent from all around the world. I mean, over 230 languages are spoken in London. You just walk across any part of London, it's extraordinary. We are a true melting pot. And I've seen this myself as an entrepreneur who came here from overseas and set up the business, which rely on combination of people from Britain, from continent, and from the rest of the world. So Sadiq has made it clear that he will challenge any unfair visa rules which will make it harder for business to bring in the world's best talent and in turn create future opportunities for London. We have to be very, very clear about that. That businesses need people, talented people from around the world. Businesses sees no boundaries. Boundaries are political. As far as businesses are concerned, we see no boundaries. And that's why we should be able to attract talent from around the world, and no visa restrictions should actually stop us from doing that. And following the referendum, we'll be insisting that the government ensures that leaving the EU does not make it more difficult or cumbersome to sort out the work visas for our European neighbors. And let me make one more thing absolutely clear. The hundreds and thousands of EU citizens who live and work in our city, bringing their talent into our economy and in many cases into London's fintech community, are welcome. I want to say this to them, that you are very welcome and you will always be. Almost 20% of the workforce in the London's tech sector comes from Europe. They've contributed immensely. A lot of startups in London have actually been started up by people from around Europe. And I want to say to them that we totally recognize their contribution and they are absolutely welcome. In order to protect London's interest, we also need greater autonomy and to protect the businesses from around the world who trade here, to take the decisions about how capital is spent on the infrastructure in London, to ensure that we get the right skills mix. So we'll be leading the charge for further devolution to London over the coming weeks and months. And I look forward to discussing with you all to see what you'd like to see from the devolution. Well, I'll wrap up shortly because I've been told by somebody that the popularity of a politician is inversely proportional to the length of their speech. So I'll so I'll try and wrap it up shortly. But just let me say a few more words about the mayor's agenda in this area. Sadiq came to this office with an ambitious manifesto to take the tech to the next level. And let me tell you, Brexit will not change this. Absolutely. We are committed to a tech talent pipeline with more young people and especially more young women, enabled and encouraged to gain the skills you need. We'll improve connectivity, prioritize not spots, and getting infrastructure rollout on our track. We'll champion a new approach to data, more openness, more sharing, more responsive services. And we'll appoint a chief digital officer to make sure that the digital infrastructure, governance, and skills we need are in place. Fintech is one of the great modern success stories of London and the UK. And London Fintech Week is a fantastic opportunity to show it off, to come together, to pool our knowledge and our innovation. I hope you all have a very, very productive and enjoyable week this week. And I want to thank all the organizers for organizing this fantastic event and inviting me. And thank you all for listening. I look forward to working with you all. I feel like I'm on the home turf, not just because I'm in London, but I'm also at a FinTech event. And this government, this Sadiq's administration, is all about openness and transparency. So remember, we want to work very closely with you. And coming from FinTech background, just please feel free to reach out via Twitter, via Facebook, via email, via LinkedIn, any means possible. And if that's not enough, I'm just across the bridge in City Hall. So thank you all and have a lovely rest of the week. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Rajesh Agrawal.